Interview. Agile teamwork with design thinking.
Hi, my name is Robin Mehra. I work as a design strategist here at HBI Academy. And I had the pleasure of being part of the very first semester in 2007 at the School of Design Thinking to get in touch with the design thinking process and then also with topics of agility. And I would like to ask my colleague, Holger Rhinow, a couple of questions.
Robin, hi.
You have reflected a lot about the design thinking process. As far as I know, design thinking is also perceived as a culture. And can you say something about that as well?
So you're absolutely right. I mean, over the last couple of years, the discussion shifted a little bit. There's less talk about the process nowadays and more about design thinking being a new culture, being a new mindset. That's all fine. That's okay. But that doesn't really help you as a manager or as a team to start with. Because you cannot just simply start changing every culture and make it a design thinking culture. That's not how it goes, because culture is everything. It's the sum of all interactions, of all patterns within a company. So where do you start if you want to change that? And why would you change that, right? So this might be the outcome in the end, that you have a different culture that has some new positive effects. But this is not how you start. The way you would start is with practical things. You would change practical things, day-to-day routines, projects especially, and thereby you gain experiences and you learn. So we would never start saying, let's start with a culture, but let's start with small teams or tiny little units within the company, and let's do something there. Let's give them some projects that they use design thinking for. So they apply design thinking there, and it's a different setting. That's totally new for everyone. However, once they realize design thinking works for them, the results become better. There's, of course, some positive effect to the team. They realize they can do better things, they can do better projects, they have better outcomes. So there's a lot of success that they realize, that they experience. And that's really how you start that. So you set positive experiences through projects, through even workshops in the beginning. And that makes it a first step that's really valuable. And then it becomes kind of like a habit over time, and other teams start to follow and do the same thing. And that's when the culture kind of slowly changes over time. Okay, so it's kind of like a side effect or the ultimate goal, maybe in the end, to have a new culture, but it's nothing that you would start right away. It all begins with concrete experiences through projects. And the way you do it is you need methods, you need tools, you need to learn all that thing that's in there for you. And therefore you need maybe sometimes a little bit of coaching, because it's actually quite difficult, quite challenging to do it for the first time. And but once you have it, and once it becomes a habit, you get better and things change.
That means that almost everyone has to apply design thinking within their organization, right? Did I get you right?
That's another hype. I mean, that's the problem. So not everybody has to be a design thinker in a company. Okay. We see this kind of discussion sometimes with clients as well, that come to us and they directly want to have dozens, if not hundreds of people involved in a new initiative around design thinking. And they say they want to have everyone trained and educated. But that's not how it goes. And the first question that I always ask these organizations is, imagine you have 20 teams right away doing design thinking, all of them trying to be innovative, all of them trying to come up with new innovative products for the company. Imagine they are all successful and you have 20 new product ideas that are all tested, all are valid. What do you do then? Like almost literally no company in the world is able to develop 20 new products in parallel right away, bring it to the market, maintain the product, continually develop it. It doesn't work like this. It's way too much. So you have to think as a company, how much can you actually absorb? How much of this kind of teamwork can you absorb? And sometimes you just need like 5 projects maybe, or like 2 projects to start with. So don't do everything with everyone at the same time. You know, give yourself some time to learn. Start with the people that really want to do this, that are really committed to it, because you need success stories in the beginning. Because in the beginning, design thinking is something new. And I mean, everybody is interested in understanding what's happening there. But after the first 3 or 5 projects, nobody is asking, what is the method all about? They are all looking at the projects and ask everyone, what was the outcome? Is it worth it? And if you don't have any success stories right away, you're basically done with the term. You know, it's a burnt term in the end, like so many others. So to make the best out of it, really be careful when considering the first projects and don't do too many right away.
That's very interesting, because you said take care, don't invent too much, right?
In a way, yeah.
In a way, right? Oh, interesting. And one really interesting insight I figured out was that the cross-functional teams, yeah, within the organization play a fundamental role in this overall experience, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Cross-functional means, well, let's say what it is not. It doesn't mean as long as you have a diverse group of people coming from all units, you're fine. That's not the goal. It's not the goal to mix it up so that you completely work in a different way just with strangers all the time that you have never worked with. That's not the goal. The goal is like to have the best people for the team available. And the best people is determined by the projects that you're doing. So if you have a project that is all about developing a new app, of course you need app designers and software developers. That's what cross-functionality means. You need the best people you can have for this team. Okay? And this is, it sounds obvious, but it's really the most crucial innovation barrier in all organizations, to be honest. And this is even shown by studies. So you can really see that the team alignment is almost never possible. We work with a big German company, more than 100,000 employees. We tried to set up one team with very specific people. It was not possible. They said, we have some engineers, we have some people somewhere, but nobody has time at the same time to work on it. And they could never align all of them together. So the project never happened. What they wanted to do was to take the second best people at some point to make it happen. That was the moment when we told them, this is the worst thing you can do. Like, if you take people that are not really equipped to do that, the project will not work. This is not how innovation works. So you either do it with the best people you have for this kind of project, or you shouldn't do it. And that's really tricky, because design thinking in that sense does not give you, let's say, a guarantee that you are successful. It's just the last 10%. What's more important is you have 5 of the best people for that job. They are all committed to really work into the unknown, to take into account that you have a lot of uncertainties and a lot of failures included, and they can cope with that. You have a management and leadership that knows that this is a high-risk project, so things will go wrong eventually. Everyone is on board, and then you have already 90% of what you need to be successful. And the last 10% is design thinking. That's kind of like the structure for the teamwork, to make sure everybody knows what to do at which point. Kind of like you come into the office at 9 o'clock on a Monday morning, and design thinking basically tells you what to do now and where to end at 6 o'clock in the evening. Because especially in the beginning of new innovation projects, nobody knows what to do, everything is unknown, there's thousands of questions that are open, and design thinking gives you the kind of structure that you need. And that's why I'm so emphasizing the aspect of the process and the tools, because that's what these high-performance teams need in the end. They need the right tools at the right time. Everything else, they will find out by themselves, because they are smart people, they are committed, and they have a passion for the topic.
So it's about resource allocation, it's about project management, and it's about design thinking, right? Is this the mixture in the end that makes good projects or innovations?
And I mean, like, the right market, You know, you have to be in the right market, you have to have the right brand for some things. So there's lots of things that come into play. Also, you have to have a good marketing in the end. So you can have the best app, but if nobody finds the app in the App Store, who cares, right? So you have to have a lot of things that have to come together. And that's why I say the method is important, but it's only like 10% of the whole equation. And that's not just for design thinking, that's for every Agile approach. And I think that's fine. That's not something where I would say, oh, design thinking, it doesn't work like we expected it to work. But it's just a more realistic approach to things. The hype is one thing, and it's okay that people think everything should be design thinking. But if you look at the experts who have done design thinking for the last 10 to 15 years, they know how this game works. They exactly know that it's just one small part of it. You can use it, you can utilize the approach for your benefits, but it's not everything. And it doesn't make up for a bad team setup, for example. Everything has to come together. That's why innovation is so hard. But in the end, the benefits, are endless once you figured it out.
So, and finally, what's your role when you get in touch with a corporate, with a company, to help them to identify where are some possibilities to innovate, and also to how to orchestrate teams, people, in order to come up with that innovations. What is your role in that game?
That's a good question. I would say the first thing is expectation management. So exactly that, telling them what we can offer with the approach, but what they have to bring on the table to make it work. And that's a lot more than the approach itself. And the second thing I would say is that you really make sure that you don't do too many compromises right away. Because this is what organizations tend to do all the time. They, especially when it comes to innovation, they say, let's take the people who have some time, let's take another project. It's not the most important project, but it's available right now. Why don't we start with that? And this is where we come in and try to really convince them not to go with half-baked ideas or half-baked team setups. Let's really make the best out of it, because we might have only one shot for that.
So sometimes you need to push them to disruptive ideas and setups and settings, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's cool. Thank you for your time, Holger, and for your insights, and see you.
Thanks.